Michelle, and today I'll be talking about some basic trigonometry, or just simply trig if you like. I'll be mainly focusing on values, graphs, and equations. I'm sure that you guys have watched the intro and hopefully prepared for what's coming. So let's get started. Okay, so first, let's do a quick recap of the right triangle definition. And here's our triangle: hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. And here's our angle theta. So by SOHCAHTOA, we know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. And cosecant, which is the same thing as 1 over sine, is hypotenuse over opposite, and secant is 1 over cosine, which gives us hypotenuse over adjacent. Cotangent is 1 over sine, and that would be adjacent over opposite. According to the unit circle definition, we know that a unit circle always have a radius of 1. And we know a unit circle is composed of 3 types of right triangles. Okay, so our 3 types of right triangles are, firstly, this is our first type, which is the 45 right triangle, and we know the radius is 1 always by the definition of a unit circle. And so by Pythagorean theorem, we know this side is going to be root 2 over 2, and so is this side. And the second type that we're gonna need or find on a unit circle is that this is the 30-60 rectangle. Radius is 1. This is gonna be 1/2, and this is root 3 over 2. And our third type of right triangle, or a special right triangle if you like, is this 60-30 one. This is gonna be 30, and this is 60. Radius is 1. This is 1/2, and this is root 2 over root 3 over 2. So by using SOHCAHTOA, as we mentioned earlier, we would be able to evaluate or just simply find the trig values. So above here, here's a chart adapted from North Plainfield High School, and it contains all the trig values that we might need on quizzes and tests. So when solving for trig equations, here are some tips I have for you guys. The first tip is that always treat the trig function as a whole. For example, when it's sine theta, don't say it's sine times theta or sine plus theta. It's just simply sine theta. The second tip is that always be aware of the interval restriction if there is any, because you might have to eliminate some of the answers if they're not on the right interval. The third tip is that make sure that you know the trig values and trig identities. I will make a list of the most commonly used trig identities on the second page for you guys to look at. And here are the trig identities. So when we get to graphing trig functions, there's only 4 terms that we have to pay special attention to, and they are amplitude, period, phase shift, and vertical shift. An amplitude is when the sine or cosine function has a coefficient in front, such as the value of a in the equation. This causes the graph to stretch or shrink its y values. And a period refers to a function's usual cycle, and it can be calculated by having 2 pi over the b term. A phase shift is when a function is shifted to the right or to the left, and it can be calculated by having the c term over b term. Vertical shift is when a function is shifted up or down. So these are the 6 basic trig graphs. You can always manipulate these based on what the question is asking for or what the trig function looks like. And that's it for this video. I hope it helped. Thank you.